Yeah. That's interesting, man. No, it is. I think that's the thing I realized that, like, I would not have been able to, first of all, just skill-wise, act like that. You know what I mean? At the level that you did. And also simultaneously, like, doing stuff. And it's like, I'm so happy that I found you.
Yeah, thanks.
Wow,
man.
are you recording this? This is good stuff. Okay, good. All right, so here, I'm going to do a preamble straight to the camera. I'm going to go to this one, okay? Okay?
Oh, yeah, whenever you're ready.
All right. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Abdullah Saeed, and I'm the host of a comedy show here in Los Angeles called The Shhh Show. We've been doing it for a long time, me and my man, Josh Savage, who's right behind the camera there. And we thought we'd try something new for our, 7th year doing this thing. We want to try it as a podcast. What does it look like when you turn a comedy show into a podcast? Well, you're about to find out. We thought, what better time to, enter this space than now? Decades into the medium of podcasting and its development. Here we are. I'm also the creator of a comedy show on Hulu and Disney Plus called Deli Boys. And for this very first episode of the Shhh Show, as we're calling it, we've got the star of Deli Boys, my boy, Saagar Shaikh, here in the house with us.
Woo! The crowd goes wild.
All right, so you and I have a very unique, special relationship, right? So I wrote a character into Deli Boys named Raj Dar. This guy was like the idealized version of myself, right? It was like the version of myself with all the confidence and the same vices that I have, right? For a long time, I was like, I'll play this role, even though I don't really have acting chops or experience.
You do,
right?
I've seen you, dude.
That's very sweet of you, but I think it's apples and oranges. The moment that I met you, which was pretty early on, as far as the production of Deli Boys.
Yeah, I want to say it was like June 22, July 22.
And I knew instantly when I saw you that you were part of this show, that you're the face of this show. But I'm curious what you thought, in more detail than you've told me before, when you first read the pilot. What was going through your mind?
So, I was with this one agent at the time, and I kept getting mad at him because he kept sending me shit to read or to audition for that was like 48-year-old dad with an accent. And I kept telling him, like, is this what I fucking look like?
Yeah, this face? Come on.
Is this what you...
Wasted on a dad.
It's like you are setting me up to fail, to not get this job, right? And then, after 4 or 5 things that he sent me like that, I was like getting ready to leave, right? Fire him. And he sent me this script and he's like, hey, I don't know if this is something you'd be interested in, but, you could check it out. And I read it and then I was like, oh, fuck. This is the best pilot I've ever read. And then I started over, I read it again and I was like, oh my God. Like, I've never read anything like this. And then I read it again. And then I called him and I was like, how could you think this is something I might or might not be interested in? Like, you think confidently I'd be interested in being a 48-year-old dad with an accent? And I was 33 at the time, 32, something like that. Yeah. And this is something you're not sure if I'm interested in? Get the fuck out of here, dude. So
that confirms it. Yeah, in his mind, you only checked a couple of these stereotypical boxes.
Yeah.
He didn't see beyond that.
Yeah. I don't know. So then I fired him.
No vision.
Yeah. So then I fired him, right? I was like, dude, if you are not sure if this is something I'm into, but you're sending me these without any context or whatever, you're not the guy for me, right?
Totally.
So then, Miss Marvel was about to come out a week later. So then that premiered, and then I was like, I got to find a new agent, right? So then I went on a bunch of meetings, and then I ended up going with Gersh, who you happened to be repped by at the time as well. And then I brought up Deli Boys in all of the meetings that I went to. And then after I signed with Gersh, my agent at the time, who's not my agent anymore, she's my manager, she called me and she's like, hey, I happen to rep the guy that wrote Deli Boys. Do you want to meet him? And I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. It was like I saw myself in Raj, and it was like the most dynamically written Pakistani character I had ever read. He had vices I shared. He was like this cool guy that I always like wanted to like be. He was like this. He's a fucking pimp.
Literally, the opening shot
Yeah.
is him in bed with like 8 people.
Yeah. And he's also like kind of like unknowingly dumb. You know, like he thinks he's smart. And he is in his own ways. But like
in a charming way.
Yeah,
I think a very charming way, in fact.
Yeah.
He's kind of dumb. And you know what's interesting about that is that you and I share a lot of qualities. You know, we're both like stonery, a little outside the box, like, you know, a little hot-headed, which I don't think people even know about us, right? Like, because we convey, like, you know, this jovial personality, but we share, like, ire for the same, like, unfairness or injustices in the world.
Because,
right?
I mean, they're real.
Yeah, exactly, right? And they are real. But it's also interesting to me that you and I share so much in the character, and yet we both chose to make him kind of dumb. Right? Like, Raj is fun, and he's sort of virtuous in a lot of ways. I do think he's the heart of the show. But what is it? How do we see ourselves that we both chose to make the character kind of dumb?
You think, like, we're personifying an insecurity?
Perhaps, or maybe that's how people have seen us for being stoners, associating that. But it's strange to me that we seem to have an affinity for his dumbness. It's kind of our favorite thing.
I mean, I do think like it's charming, right? Like, I think like Raj has something behind his eyes that like he might know the answer, but he likes to play the game. You know? Yeah. He might know the answer, but he won't let you know that he knows the answer, and he kind of wants you to tell him the answer.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
That's interesting. Yeah, I feel like in line with that, right? He's the intuitive half of this thing, right? And so it's something, you know, I've talked about, you know, when we've done press around Deli Boys, but that like really Raj and Mir are like an externalized internal conversation, right?
Yeah.
But the funny thing about that, and I'm always like, we're both of them. I mean, we're all both of them, right? We are all kind of this and kind of that.
I've been like Mir in specific parts of my life.
Yeah.
But the majority of my life, I've been like more of a Raj.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If I'm like, God, Saagar, you got to get your fucking shit together, man. Then I'll like, you know, get my laptop out, start doing my calendar shit, start making lists.
Yeah.
You know.
Interesting. So it is like a dichotomy of the id, right, which Raj is led by, right? It's like, oh, just desire, right? And I think this is actually the very surface way of looking at it. And that Mir is the ego who's practical or whatever, right? But actually, if you think about it, Raj is much more easygoing, right? In a practical sense.
I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like he's not stressing. And Mir, on the other hand, he has all these ideals of like, who should I be? I should be like my dad. Right?
Yeah.
He's almost a more fantastical thinker to someone like you or me.
But I think like Mir is the type of person that plans, but like romanticizes his plans. I mean, look at the episode 9, for example, right? Like the cold open of episode 9, the Chief Saab, right? That's like Mir planning his future, fantasizing, but also romanticizing, you know, what that future is like for him, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Raj, you have flashbacks from Raj. Mir,
That's right.
Mir has like the idea of a flash forward.
That's true. I
know?
never even considered that.
Yeah.
It's very true. And it is like, you're right, like that fantasy for Mir, it is that ego that's like planning for the future. That's like, here's where we want to be. That's setting it up. The practical means for achieving this fantastical version of himself, right? But Raj is very accepting, I think. And it's interesting, you know, right now we're in the writer's room for season 2. I'm not going to give anything away, of course. But I think that Raj being the moral center of the show is something that really persists. Because at the end of the day, that is what it is, right? And I do think I'm much more of a Raj than a Mir.
Yeah. You know? I mean, yeah.
Asif is probably more of a Raj than a Mir too, Brad.
I think so. I think so, yeah. I don't think a person like Mir necessarily thrives in this business. You know?
That's interesting.
They especially in a creative aspect. Of the business, right? Like, if Asif was like, his brother is more the Mir.
That's true. So Asif's brother, Mo Ali, who's a manager, also the guy who brought us Amita Rao, who plays Nandika, real fine for us. Yeah. But yeah, it's so true. They're brothers.
The man behind the man.
Yeah. That's, wow. Yeah. That's insane to think about. And in fact, to take it a step further, you know, I remember when my friends and I first saw Rami, right?
Yeah.
And we loved it. But we also said, none of us knows a guy like this or hangs out with a guy like this who's so conscious about being a good Muslim all the time, right?
Yeah.
And it's like we all identify as Muslim and, you know, that's our thing. We have our varying levels of engagement with it. But we were like, we get this guy's perspective. Obviously, we are not a monolith. We don't know a guy like this, right? But that's much more of a Mir, right? That's much more of a guy who has an idea of how you should be, and it almost hinders him trying to stay in that idea.
I don't know. I mean, I think like a character like Rami, really lives in guilt. Guilt is like the feeling that he feels most from all of his actions, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Mir has guilt.
That's very interesting.
I don't think Mir feels guilt unless it is like, I mean, as far as we've seen, only with Bushra.
Yeah.
But that goes away pretty quick.
It does.
Right.
He kind of just like, you know, I think he realizes about himself that in fact he does love the money more than he loves Bushra. That's the very circumstance of not feeling guilt.
Yeah, and I think in moments he loves the money more than he loves anybody else, even Raj.
And right? I think in season 2 there's a moment we're working on that forces him to reckon with that a little bit, right? Because it is
too much.
What's that?
Don't give away too much about season 2.
Yeah. Thanks. This guy's keeping me on. Okay, yes. Thank you so much for that,
Joe. You guys are doing great, by the way. Keep going.
Okay, beautiful. But yeah, and also I love this, and I'm like, I feel like this is the podcast. I knew we'd find it when we start talking about it, is that like, I want to have everyone from the cast on and break their character down. You know what I mean? Because I think it's so fascinating, and the fact that we're starting with you, which was always the natural thing, you know what I mean? Because like I've said in the past...
That's not true.
Well, like I've said in the past, we are all a very tight family on Deli Boys. You know, we are super close. All our spouses are close. You know what I mean?
I mean, we love each other.
We really love each other. There's a lot of vibe in there. You know, I don't pick favorites from anyone in the cast, but you and I have a unique relationship in that we both really, really needed this show to work.
We're the only ones that might be really impacted if the show stops, you know? So it's like, while this show is happening, we are like, we know we have to spread our wings in this moment, because if we don't, you know, make moves during this hot second, then that flame will be put out. But, you know, our other friends and family on this show, they have, this is just like another part of their longer career.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, because like for us, it is this pivotal moment.
Yeah. But I do feel like they also find it as a pivotal moment in their career. Yeah. But if it doesn't work out, at least they will, they will be okay.
It's not as do or die. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's super fascinating, right? Because also, Deli Boys was expected to have huge success and breakthrough, right?
Yeah.
And had great success, but didn't become the household name that we wanted it to in that season one. And it's like, that was an interesting feeling for me, right? Because there was all this buildup, right? And it felt so big and all the press and stuff, right? And we did cultivate a really dedicated, amazing audience once more. And yet there was a part of me that was like, oh, I thought this was supposed to be like the end all,
just
right?
a bang, right?
Yeah.
Just like
How did that go for you?
It's so funny, man, because like that is the part that it confuses me. It's a feeling I've never felt before, and I have to like reckon with it, but I don't know how because it's so unrelatable. It is hard to talk to even like my therapist about it.
To complain, to be like, my TV show's not succeeding
yeah,
as much
you're like,
as
what
we
a
wanted.
stupid fucking thought, right? Like, who gives a fuck, really? At the end of the day, right? Well, there's
It's
bigger
true.
fish to fry in the world.
Yes, but here on this podcast, this is number one issue.
This is a top issue. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's a hard thing to talk about to anyone else.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to talk about to each other. I mean, we've glossed over it with each other, but we've never really like looked at that and been like, oh, like, what does that mean? And also, it's such a weird thing because everyone outside of this business bubble is like, this show was a huge success.
Totally. And I mean, like, if you look at our phones, our algorithms are telling us the same story, right?
Yeah.
That it's a huge success. And then on top of that, like, all the press that, the team did, and they were so good at it.
They did an amazing job.
We did so much
Yeah.
because of the work that they put into it, right?
Yeah.
And me and Asif, we made a rule. We're not saying no to anything right now. We just need to do as much as we can, so.
And you guys really did. I gotta say, it is the level of dedication that you guys have shown. I've never seen anyone promote a show that hard. Not just you guys, but obviously Porna, the other cast
Porna
members.
did so much.
Yeah, like so much stuff.
Alfie showed up when she could,
Right.
Everybody showed up when they could.
Yeah.
Nobody said no to anything.
And special, I think, mention to Tan France, who is in one episode of the show. It's such a fucking good episode.
Dude.
He slays it. It's like this mind-blowing moment. But on top of that, he used this insane platform to like really promote the show, get it out there. He cares.
He is just the best human dude.
Best human being, dude. A lot of people have come up to me and been like, I love Tan France. Like, I'd never heard of you or anyone else on the show, but I love Tan France. I watched the show and I thought it was so great.
Yeah.
I always tell them, I know this is a cliche, but he is just as nice as you think he is.
Like, I want to be a fly on the wall in his house, in his like normal day-to-day when there are no cameras around him.
Yeah.
Because how does a man have that much like just
Heart.
kindness
Yeah.
exuding from him, radiating from this man? And when does he have a down moment?
I know, right? Well, I do think that when he's at home by himself, that he actually talks like this. This is his real voice. My name's Dan France.
Oh yeah. What is dude? I love that man.
Yeah, he's the best guy. And so, also, I want to share an interesting thing with the folks listening / watching about the marketing campaign and you and I and our effort to collect as many physical items, props, memorabilia, pieces of the set. All right, so there's a lot of stuff, but oh yeah, that's right. Okay, should I redo that? Okay, cool.
Every now and again, just reference.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. All right, so Saagar, give us a breakdown of some of the items that you took from Premiere Party, New York, LA, and then I also many of these items are things that I now possess.
Yeah.
So, but go on.
Okay, so I got like a mega glug. I got like 3 achar bottles. I got a crate, Deli Boys crate.
The Deli Boys crate is a very clutch item. It's a green crate, and it just says Deli Boys in like the one flat spot on the crate.
Yeah.
I have one too. It's very cool. These
It's
are
amazing.
not available in stores.
No, like, I mean, they're Jesse Haddad level good.
Yes. Okay, so Jesse Haddad is the production designer of Deli Boys. I think this actually brings us to an interesting thing I want to ask you about, right? Because you and I both worked at our family's businesses, right?
Yeah.
And so Jesse Haddad, the production designer of Deli Boys, fun fact, also did Twisters.
Yes.
So she did Tornadoes and fucking convenience store. But, you know, she really nailed it in terms of recreating the deli from the pilot, which was a real deli, right? We did not have a set. That was a real deli on Devon Street in Chicago, very Pakistani area. That deli was real. We put it in the pilot. Then for the series, Jesse built that entire deli, right? Again, like, you know.
And it was like identical. It was so perfect.
I remember looking up at the ceiling and seeing on the drop ceiling the water stains, brown water stains. And I was like, dude, this feels like a real fucking deli. And it did strike me, not necessarily as like, you know, I worked at my mom's franchise store, right? Or whatever. So I didn't have the same experience you had of actually working at like a gas station, you're selling cigarettes.
Yeah.
Like, how did that experience compare to the experience of being on the ABC Deli set and all that?
I mean, like, you know, I've been inside like our family gas station, like for many years, right? But additionally, you go to other gas stations, just like when you're traveling, when you got to stop or whatever. And I feel like eventually, me going to a gas station always felt like I have a responsibility to make the stuff I'm looking at look better. You know, like just like fixing things or whatever. And I do that everywhere. I do that at like Ralph's, Vaughn's. If I see something that doesn't look good, like especially if I'm like searching, if I'm looking for a bag of chips or if I'm looking for like sparkling water or something, right? And then I see the area that I'm looking at doesn't look great, I'll just fix it.
Yeah, and so there is actually a moment in the pilot at the very end where we're seeing a sort of vision of the deli.
Yeah.
And Raj walks down the aisle and he grabs like a soap, right? And he's like, he goes, "What are you doing there?" And puts that soap back. Did you set that up?
Yeah, I just did it.
You just did it.
So, yeah, I just did it, right? Because I had to walk, right? It was like a little oneer, right? And I wasn't just gonna walk without something to do, right?
Yeah,
I think like if you're working in the store, you wanna, especially if it's a front, you gotta keep it nice. Yeah. You gotta keep it clean, right? So I just took one of those soap things and I misplaced it, right? I put it somewhere else, and then it gave me something to do, walking, something that I already know how to do.
Yeah.
You know, and then they kept it. Yeah.
It's a really beautiful moment, actually. Especially because when you realize that this is a dream, you're like, well, okay, this is sort of a shared dream between Raj and me, right? But Raj sees himself as a very capable person in this environment, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of beautiful, right? Because, like, even this guy wants order. I think there's that.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't originally shot that way, right? Like when it was written.
Oh yeah! Oh
like
my
that
God,
happened
you're
in
right.
Post, right?
Okay, so this is yes, exactly. This was filmed as something that was really going on the next day, but instead in post it became this dream sequence. Yes, you're right. It was actually him, and then became a dream sequence.
Yeah, because what was supposed to happen when he's like. He's doing the scene. You fix the coffee? All right, cool. I'm going to go fill the cooler or whatever. You got it, bro. You're the best. And then he goes in the back, and that is when he sees the dead body. He's grabbing some drinks to fill the cooler. He sees the body and he goes, ugh, or something like that.
And puts
right?
the paper bag on his head.
Like fixes the paper bag. Oh, yeah.
Or maybe lifts his head. I feel
you're
like
right.
I remember you, like, it was like a struggle to be like, oh, this is weird to lift his head. And,
yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay, yes, of course.
And then in the edit, they changed it to where it became a dream sequence. They still used all the parts, but now it's like, bag him up.
Yeah.
And he puts the bag over.
Yeah, exactly.
Which a lot of people didn't catch that joke.
Yeah. I know, right? And then some people did, and it was like a pretty, like, it was inadvertent, I think.
It was, because that was in post.
Yeah.
Because, the whole edit was changed.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Man, it's so weird. The pilot was really Frankenstein in some ways, but actually, it really stayed true to the original pilot. There's a couple
for the most
scenes.
part, yeah.
Yeah. There was, if you remember, in the original pilot, Mir oversaw the delis, and Raj oversaw a chain of laundromats.
Yeah. I remember that.
And in fact, there was, in this deleted scene, right? It was only in the script, never shot. They go to the laundromat, and Raj has actually stashed away money in like a bag. Like he did something responsible.
Yeah.
But when they get there, the police have hit this place
Yes,
too.
I remember that.
And so then Raj gets really upset, and he's like, dude, like that was the backup plan. And Mir's like, it's okay, there's one more thing we can do or whatever.
Yeah. Wow. I wonder, that's a different show.
It's a different show.
Yeah.
It's a different show. And it is like when we first met, I was like, oh, yeah, I totally see it. I'm Raj, and this is Mir, right?
Yeah.
Which is very laughable to me now, but at the time seemed like that was the way to go, right? Which is a very different show.
It's a completely different show.
Yeah. One day we'll get AI to make that pilot, and so we can see what it would have been like.
Yeah. One day when that's the day that we're cooked.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. Yeah. Once it can do that, and I mean, it's.
Do you use AI?
I have, yeah, for mostly research and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I will say this, and this is in reference to Raj's assertion that AI is going to be a problem, but only for our future selves.
Can I tell you? I used AI for the first time ever last week.
No way. What'd you use it for?
ChatGPT. I just everybody talks about it forever. I've been so against using any kind of AI that I haven't touched it. And then I started thinking fuck, dude. I think if I don't start using it, I'm just gonna get left behind, right?
A common fear.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I should at least just have a basic understanding of how to use it.
Yeah.
In case it does take over the world, right?
Yeah.
Because it is going to. I'm totally against it, and I wish we aren't where we are. It's gonna make people lazy. It's gonna make people dumb. And yeah, that's it, right? It's gonna take
lazier and dumber,
and it's gonna make people poorer.
Yeah. The way it's being utilized. Yeah.
And so all I did was I downloaded ChatGPT. And I'm working on a couple of other things too, right? So I'm getting to a point where I'm like, dude, I think I need an assistant, right? It's getting crazy. And then I was like, maybe I should see if I've heard people using ChatGPT as their assistant, right? So I said, hey, Chat, can you be my assistant? And then it asked me for what, and then I said for what, and then it gave me this long list of different things it could help me with, and I was like, this is too much, so I just turned it off.
Interesting.
I can't do it, yeah. I'm trying.
I used it initially. I was adapting a pilot that was going to be a reboot of a decades-old comedy show, and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch every episode of it. And at some point, I just asked ChatGPT to break down the major storylines and relationships to help me go through it, and I was like, oh, this is pretty comprehensive, and actually this is all I need to write my pilot.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And it gave me literally everything that I needed, and that was kind of crazy, but also I'll say this, especially being in a writer's room like for a few weeks now, I don't pay those people to come in and write text or generate text based on existing text or, in the style of whatever tropes like I can throw at them. I'm there. I hired each of these people because each of them is out of their fucking mind in the right way.
Yeah.
Right? And there's no way that you can teach a robot to do that when I see like Sudi Green or Nikki Kashani just like going on.
No, dude, they are like, different.
Yeah, and I'm like, you're such a complete whole person and just a whole brand of, one thing that like is the life of the show. And every show you see where you're like, oh my God, what was that unique energy of The Office? It was a combination of these people, of these minds, right? And AIs can't do that.
I mean, like, that's... Yeah, AI cannot bounce off of someone else to heighten an idea, Yeah. You've got a different brain than I do. I mean, it's like improv.
It is.
Right?
It's exactly that. That's the thing that an AI can't successfully do. I think it can spit things out, but like the very nature of comedy is like something that's absurd or surprising or, incongruous in a way that hasn't been done before, right? Because if I told you a joke based on all existing jokes, it wouldn't be funny. That's not what a joke is.
Yeah. It's not, right? The one thing that is hardest to do is add ideas while also letting go of your own ideas, right? Yeah. Letting go of bits and pieces of one idea, and the other person does the same, and you're kind of putting your half and their half together to make a better idea.
Yeah. Exactly, right? And so keep going.
No, just start the 2-minute wrap up.
Oh, okay, cool. We're about to have 30 minutes?
We're at 32 minutes.
Okay, fantastic. So here, actually,
Did we do good?
Yeah, this is really good. And I'm like, holy shit, wait a minute. This is a great fucking show, actually.
I feel like I at some point I got like really high and I only took like 2 or 3 hits, but I like forgot what we were talking about.
Oh, that's okay.
So we're gonna have to they're gonna have to rewind and find that moment that I've had.
So you want to hear something interesting? That happens to me all day, every day, and I have made a game out of recovering.
Yeah.
And it's like in front of a writer's room, in front of people on a call, like whatever. I'll be saying something and completely lose my train of thought. Not because I'm high because I'm a stoner and I'm terrible.
It just happens.
Short-term memory, right? And I kind of enjoy like finding my way back and like keeping the person going. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a skill. Okay, so I'm going to end us on a fun thing. It's another reference to something Raj says in the pilot, okay? So at the end of the pilot, no one seems to notice the hinkiness of like, oh, wait, Raj just shows up at the deli. How did Lucky get out of jail?
Yeah.
Somehow, and I think it's a real testament to the magnetism of the characters, right? But when Raj walks up, he says to Mir, I got here by following the love arrows, right?
Yeah.
The 4-dimensional curve that'll lead you to make the most beautiful. It's like
that is your life.
Yeah, the curve that'll make you make the most beautiful 4-dimensional sculpture. That is your life.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw that exact everything described there in an acid trip. Okay, when I was by myself in Palm Springs, and it was actually a really profound trip for me in which I realized Allie, my wife, who plays Agent Mercer in the show, was like my love shaman. I had to trust her love.
Yeah, you have to let her guide you.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. And it was kind of amazing. And it was like this idea that, all like beauty or love or whatever, that like, essence, of isness, right? Is that you don't find it in the rigid corners of existence. You find it in the curves, right? And that like the arrows will always lead you to follow this curve. And what you're doing is making a 4-dimensional Donnie Darko sculpture of your life. I'm curious.
I guess you had to be there.
Yeah. But that actually leads to my question. I'm curious. Have you ever had a psychedelic experience that speaks to something like that, or that just speaks in general to the Raj ethos of following the love arrows through existence?
I've definitely, yeah, I've had them, and they're crazy, man. You know, sometimes they're way deeper than. I mean, they're always deeper than I am able to be able. They're always deeper than I am able to go without it, right? I don't want to say. You know what it is?
Yeah.
Because it's been about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And while I still feel that way, I just feel like I can't say it out loud.
Interesting. And you know what's kind of amazing about that is that I think verbalizing things, even the way that I simplified this crazy, very, very deep experience into this one sentence that Raj says and follows it up with, Prairie dropped acid into my eyeballs, right?
Yeah.
It's true that when we bring it into the real world, like all pure and true things, they become dirty.
Yeah,
They become misinterpreted. Someone would say, oh, that's just gobbledygook, the love arrows.
So you have to like siphon it down to just like simplify it. Oh, Prairie dropped acid in my eyeballs, right? And it minimizes the entire experience and the meaning behind it and the knowledge behind it.
Exactly. I think that's really interesting, and it's a moment between Raj and Mir where Raj says this very true, thing from the soul.
Philosophical.
Right? And like unhindered by like, oh, I'm tripping and I'm just walking around the city. Do I sound crazy?
Yeah.
He says it to Mir, but Mir is like, whoosh. And if Mir took that advice or like listened to what Raj was saying, it might fix all his problems.
100%. It might put him in touch with like the universe, the ground, hearts. And yeah, it just like does so much to you psychologically that I really, really think everybody should try.
Has Asif tried psychedelics? Do you know?
I don't think so.
No, like never anything? He smoked some weed.
Yeah.
I've seen him have a cocktail, I think, but he's not much of a drinker.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if he's ever done psychedelics.
I don't know.
All right. We're going to have to find out. And you know what? We'll find out by bringing Asif onto this very show.
Yeah.
And grilling
interrogating him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Getting the answers. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, my man.
Of course, my brother.
Boy. Yeah.
I love this man.
I love this man. Saagar Shaikh, the star of Deli Boys Season 2, is being made right now. Thanks so much for hanging out on the show. My name's Abdullah. My man's name is Josh Savage. We'll see you next time.
Woo!
Hey!
And we're out. Thank you.
That was great.
Yeah, that was fun.
was fucking fantastic, bro.
38 minutes. It was a little. You guys ripped. It was great. We had fucking great combo.
Good stuff. Dude, we're going to drop this when Season 2 comes out. It's going to blow the fuck up.
Yeah.
Seriously. Let's do more of these.
Let's do more of these. Let's get
Yeah,
Asif.
dude.
Yeah.
I loved hearing.
And this is
all of
actually
it,
great without the audience, man, because it's like so easy. Like we're done,
Thank you.
It looks cool. It looks great on the thing. Really appreciate everything that you do. This is fucking dope, man. How does this thing work? Recording this thing? Yeah. Wait, but what's
Abdullah's
this
a
guy?
huge dab.
So I enjoy the dab.